Hello, this is Billie Jo. So, this pick a card reading is how you can, this is your own personal empowerment message. Um, so, what this is intended to do is to help you to ascend to your highest potential in your life path, what you're meant to do. We're going to take a look at where you're at, give advice for how you can get your power back. And then we're going to look into which goddess you should be empowered by and how that pertains to your life path. So I have 3 piles for you. Pile 1 is with the peach moonstone. Pile 2 is with the pyrite. And pile 3 was with the blue agate. 1, 2, 3. So for those of you that would like to go ahead and jump to your pile, timestamps are in the description box. I am going to go ahead and show which decks I used because I always have people ask. So I used Goddess Power, Mystical Shaman Oracle, these LAQ Oracle, Shamanic Healing Oracle, the Soul Truth Self-Awareness card deck, the Work Your Light Oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle, and okay, in this deck, I knew there was another one. This deck created by Angela with Mystic Moon, Dark Night of the Soul Tarot. So if you need any more time, you can pause the video. Also, if you would like any information on how to contact me to get your own personal reading, or to give, if you want to just leave comments about what kind of pick a cards you want, blah, blah, blah. All that's in the description box. I'm going to go ahead and get started with those that pick pile option number 1. Okay, if you chose pile option number 1 with the peach moonstone, this is your reading. So, let's look and see what persona you're currently exhibiting, okay? So we have she who resists, Adaz, fearless, justified, resistant. So this, look, she's got this bloody looking knife in her hand, and it looks like she's looking over her shoulder like, what? Test me. So, she may be looking to see if anyone's paying attention to her, if anyone's following her. She is determined to do what she feels she must do. She is fierce like a warrior. And although she doesn't like violence, she will stand up for herself. Like Adaz, you may come from a life of being told what you can or cannot have, what you can or cannot do, of being told who you should be and how you should act. You may be blocked by a buildup of injustice and inconsiderations that have formed a wall of anger. So let me just kind of put this up here. From the Dark Night of the Soul cards, we have the 2 of Sorrow for Fortress, the 5 of Sorrow, Doom and Gloom, and the Chariot Barricade. Okay. So, wow. You kind of have yourself closed off, don't you? Not wanting to feel anything. With the Two of Sorrow, the Fortress, what I'm getting is that um, you may have barricaded yourself behind your walls. Like I'm seeing someone who's got such thick walls that it's bricked, cemented, caged, locked. You know, it got that big, heavy bank vault door. um, but between the unhealed pain that bubbles up inside of you and the isolated loneliness, it's like you've become a shadow of your former self. And then with the Five of Sorrow, the doom and gloom, I mean, look how it looks like a stairs that just keeps going down into a dark, bottomless pit. You know, you may be suffering some depression or low self worth, some anxiety. Those things have dug a deep well into your psyche. We have the Chariot with the barricade. The thing about, it's like there's this victim mentality and it's blocking your growth. Your solar plexus needs some deep healing. You may want to listen to some you can find them on YouTube. They're like binaural beats for your solar plexus. So let's look and see what you can do to heal that. First, we have one of these soul cards, a question card. It says, what are the dominant emotions that run my life? How do you feel your day? Stress or joy? Trust or anger? Anxiety or peace? We have only today, right now, the journey. No goal, no destination will bring us the feeling we seek. But when we begin feeling every day with that which we value most, we will attract more of it. This is fulfillment. Today's soul action. Lean into what you feel. Lean into what you want to feel and adjust your life, your values, and your expectations to match your desires. What do you want to feel? Are you willing to let go of the belief that you have to achieve something to feel it? That's some very good questions. The other cards we're going to look at to see what you should do to heal, we have the number 36 for grounding and number 17 for earth. Wow. Because both grounding can be like seen as earth energy as well. So for grounding, that talks about the growth and healing, and needing to start by grounding your emotions and your energy. Ideas that you can do to help elevate yourself is like go out in nature, get some sunshine, eat some raw, fresh veggies. Another thing that's really interesting, you can do what's called grounding. If you have an area that you can just go outside and take your shoes off and allow your feet to absorb Mother Earth's energy through your feet. And just imagine, close your eyes, imagine and feel yourself being filled with her warmth, her love, her compassion, and let it stabilize you, okay? With the earth, it talks about focus on what nurtures you. Make sure you practice self-care. Taking walks in nature. If you have a park close by, you can go to the park, sit on the bench, read a book, do something that is out, out in nature. If you're into hiking or camping, there's something, maybe you need to get some time away from society and just disconnect and from any kind of social media, any kind of stress, anxiety, and get away into nature, like hiking or camping, canoeing, things like that. And that way you can focus on the abundance the earth has gifted. It's time, and it talks about being time to believe in miracles. So those are just some things that you can do to help get yourself to where you want to be. And where you want to be is Gaia Earth. So this is number 16. Some of you, she's pregnant, so, just a little side note. Some of you may want to get pregnant. Some of you may be pregnant. However it resonates to you. Some of you may be mothers already. But it talks about you're called in this journey to portray the attributes of this Gaia goddess. The earth is your playground for conscious manifestation. And that's like, I know that, and I mentioned camping because for me, especially when I was growing up, my father would teach us because he was an attorney, and he would have to disconnect. And what he did to disconnect, he wouldn't disconnect from his family. He would disconnect from colleagues, clients, society requirements and mandates. Things were expected, things that are expected of us. And on the weekends, especially during summer, he would take us camping. So that way, and that was his way of getting stabilized. And you're more able, if you're stabilized and grounded, you're more able to manifest the abundance, the prosperity, and all those things you desire in your life. But first you have to focus on the stability and the security so you can move forward in a more grounded way. Then we have the 8 of Voices. I forgot to mention I did add the Muse Tarot in here. I didn't list that in the cards earlier. 6 of Materials. 5 of Inspiration. Those are beautiful cards. So the 8 of Voices, it talks about, as you're calling as Mother Gaia here, your persona is to help empower others. But how can you empower others if you haven't empowered yourself yet? So you have to get your power back. But the way you empower others is by teaching them to see the truth, by helping them unbound their ties to a false sense of entanglement. With the 6 of Materials, this lets me know that you yourself become the sacred mirror, and you help them see the light by showing them they shine by reflecting the flow of abundance, balance, and appreciation. There's a song that's coming to me with this card. Scars to Your Beautiful. I think that's by Alicia Cara. I think that's how you say her name. So, and then the 5 of Inspiration. This talks about promoting healthy and productive, motivation through possible competition, things like that. But it talks about being a catalyst for other success towards their highest good. So you have to reach your highest good so you can, in your path and your calling, to help others aspire to their highest good. And then we have Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. And the number 31 for Worm Moon, Faith. Again, she's pregnant with the earth, so you may be expecting yourself. Sisterhood of the Rose, this, your path calls you to serve humanity and seeding light consciousness. You're called to a path of devotion and beauty. You're meant to create beauty wherever you go. And then with the Faith card, number 31, I'm just going to read that one out of the book. It says Worm Moon. It says Faith, fertility and abundance now return. Things will get better. Growth has started. Hold on to your dreams in adversity. I know all will be well. That's a mantra that you can repeat to yourself. Just look in the mirror and say, I know all will be well. And it says, it is in the darkest times that we find it hard to see the light. It is hard to see when things seem hopeless, how we can ever feel hope again. When things seem to fail, it is really difficult to draw up our resilience and stand up again. We learn by observing the seasons that the light does return. The barrenness of winter turns infinitely and surely into spring. The ice melts, the days grow longer, and the nights grow shorter. Warmth and fertility slowly return to the land. It is hard to have faith in ourselves and the universe. Faith requires us to let go of our anxieties and have trust, perhaps in something we can't actually see. Having a more complete faith in yourself, in a higher power to lead you to your greatest good is a solid intention. While having a rigid, blind faith does not serve us, it is important to hold on to our dreams and intentions and to focus on the outcome. To do this without taking note of what is happening around us can be folly. Our ancestors would observe nature carefully, looking for the signs of new life and fertility, altering their hunting or planting to best take advantage. Yet they knew that the ice would melt and the soil, damp and ready, teeming with worms, would receive their seeds. It says a companion stone or metal, this is something that you can use to meditate with, is the lapis lazuli. So if you're interested in that. So I hope this helped those that picked pile option number 1. I hope you enjoyed this. If you would like to see more readings like this, please give it a thumbs up and let me know that you liked it. Leave a comment on how it resonated with you. I'm going to get moved on to those that picked pile option number 2. Okay, those of you that chose pile option number 2 with this beautiful pyrite, also better known as fool's gold. So let's take a look at your personal empowerment and how you can ascend to your highest self so that you can follow your true calling. So first we have this card, which is who you are representing. It says Yelena, she who knows. Wisdom, clarity, resolution. So this tells me balance is key, when it comes to matters that require clarity and wisdom. Sometimes you may understand different situations through intellectual or emotional clues. However, there must be balance between heart and logic. You may be, some days you may lead with your heart, some days lead with your logic, or maybe it depends for you on where you're at. Like, for example, me, when I'm at home, I lead a heartfelt life. I follow my heart. At work, I kind of think with logic. I step into my masculine energy. So you may be like me to where you can compartmentalize yourself. This card also talks about using your natural gifts of insight and allowing you to approach issues in a more multi-layered perspective. So you may also, again, compartmentalize, and you may be someone who's very good at multitasking. So I'm just going to put this over here. And then from the Dark Night of the Soul Tarot, we have the Two of Torment, deadlocked. Three of Torment, flesh wound. So we're just looking at where you're at and what's going on with you. We have the Villain of Sorrow, smooth talker. So let's look and see. Let's see. Wow. So deadlocked, it's like you seem to have come to a point where you're unable to make any more progress. You kind of feel stuck or maybe in a rut. That's that word, deadlocked. And I'm sensing that you're just kind of refusing to see the situations clearly and blinding yourself from understanding all perspectives. I mean, if you've got the mask on, you only know, from your own perspective. You're not seeing from others' perspectives. We have the Three of Torment, flesh wound. You've suffered some type of disappointment, some type of pain, and although it hurts, you have to understand it hasn't caused any real damage. Like, it hasn't damaged, look at that, it hasn't damaged any of the internal organs that she's got. And I'm hearing in my head that saying, but did it kill you? I know that's a harsh saying, I think. Villain of Sorrow, the smooth talker. Wow. Yeah, you were deceived. This person who deceived you, seems like they were slick. They may have been fraudulent. They may have swindled you. They really, really fooled you. But if you had listened to your intuition, that wouldn't have happened. Sometimes we don't listen to that inner voice, and we want to believe the best in other people. So now I'm going to look and see what you need to do for healing and growth, so that way you can step into your highest potential. So first, I have a question card from the Soul Truth Self-Awareness deck. It says, do I surround myself with people who lift me up? The people with whom we surround ourselves determine who we become. Does your tribe fill you up? Do they inspire you? Do they believe in you? Do they help you step into your greatest potential? Today's soul action. Make a desire list of the type of people with whom you wish to surround yourself, and clarify if there is anyone in your life who no longer serves you. Can you love them from a distance? If we have people who's toxic in our life, it doesn't matter if it's people we've been friends with our whole life or possibly even family members. Sometimes we just really need to detach from that toxic behavior. Then we have the number 38 for growth. Look at that beautiful card. I love leaves. Anything in nature, I absolutely love it. We have the number 23, the giveaway. Now that's another beautiful card. She's got her arms lifted up, embracing the light. So, the growth card. So this, to me, is just talking about allowing this person who's hurt you, or people, maybe more than one, just to allow them to fall away from your life. They don't match your vibration. They don't have your highest purpose, your highest good intended. They're more focused on selfishness, and they don't serve your highest good. It's again with that letting go, with that toxic personality. It's okay to do that. You're not obligated to help someone who is, I'm getting a sense of like an energy vampire. You're not obligated. You're obligated to yourself. We have the giveaway, and it talks about having to set limits on how much of yourself you give away. Set those boundaries. Are you trying to be liked or accepted? I mean, everyone's not going to like you. And that's okay. It's okay. Because you're wonderful and amazing without everybody seeing that light. Some people so much in darkness they can't see it. Or they fear it. They run from it. Start giving to yourself first and foremost, okay? Now, let's look at who you should be embodying. What goddess has a message for you and for your life path. We have the number 17, green Terra, salvation. Look how beautiful that is. Look how light, bright, and vibrant that is. That's you. That's your potential. It says salvation. This talks about the right people, will show up for you at the right time. Salvation is contingent on your willingness to release your ego conflicts. As you learn to embody the personification of Green Terra, you will no longer compare yourself to others or be blind to the many opportunities that are already yours for the taking. All those blessings are already yours. You just got to reach down and pull them down to you. You've already got them in 5D. You may not see them in 3D. All you got to do is just believe, manifest, and pull it down. Pull it unto yourself. And then we have, we have the 10 of Voices. These are the Muse Tarot. I didn't show these at the beginning. I don't know why. They're not over here with the other ones. 4 of Emotions. Oh, yeah, I know why. Because my granddaughter, after I got done, when I was working on this, when I got done, she went and pulled the cards. And she goes, oh, those are pretty. Then we have the Justice. So, 10 of Voices. You're being called to begin anew. You need to start fresh. But first, you must bring it. You must bring. You must get yourself closer to your true calling. By releasing all this hurt you have, what you're holding on to, and any grudges. And you need to avoid holding space for helplessness or any kind of victim mentality or any pain. Stop holding space for all that. You need to release that. The 4 of Emotions, you need to understand that now this is a time for meditation and contemplation. Ask yourself, what are you not seeing? You have to understand what you're not seeing is there is a bigger picture, okay? It's not that God or Source or the divine, it's not that they're not answering your prayers or punishing you by withholding your blessings. Honey, you are the blessing, okay? You are the blessing. And then the Justice card, this is telling me that you need to be responsible for your own actions. Take ownership for your part in your own choices and actions. So it's not all the other person's fault. Part of it's your fault too. And when you grow and learn this, you're going to be better at helping other people find balance as well. And I really feel like your calling is to help other people, because you have to go through things to fit your calling. If you haven't been in the situation, then you don't know how to help other people because you're not understanding where they're coming from. I really believe your calling is like in counseling or some type of where you assist other people to ascend themselves and take back their power. You are someone who's intended, it has the word salvation. So you are meant to help other people find their own salvation and healing. And then we have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. So you also may have a gift of healing as well. Just keep doing the work and keep facing and healing those old patterns and programs. You are still in the in-between. You're still emerging. You're still ascending. Just continue to do your deep healing and turn that stumbling block into a stepping stone. And then your last card, we have the number 23, last quarter moon at gratitude. So I'm just going to read that out of the book because I think sometimes the books have great advice. It says the number 23, last quarter moon gratitude. Be where you are and be thankful. There is always something to be grateful for, no matter your suffering. Gratitude raises a lower vibration to a higher one. Do not allow yourself to be surrounded by too many negative people. Life is conspiring for you. The mantra it has in here, you can look in the mirror and tell it to yourself every day. I joyfully turn my attention to what I am grateful for. And that's a beautiful mantra. It says, as we enter the last quarter moon on the lunar cycle, the energies begin to turn towards surrender and release, to let go of what we no longer need. It behooves us to pay attention to what we have right now, both positive and negative. This attention, pain, and focus allows us to wisely discern and to be grateful for all of it. Yes, all of it. Because the nasty stuff, the stuff that is making us suffer, it already happened. And we can take wisdom from this. However, now it's going, the waxing crescent 4 and the dark moon are going to sort that out for you. And what we have left is the good stuff. And frankly, most of it is going to be great. Taking some time out on this moon to list a few things you feel grateful for will raise your vibrations and banish any resistance you have to ditching out outmoded patterns. Doing this also turns your powerful focus away from a story you may have started to believe of everything going wrong or that life does terrible things to you. Gratitude is a balancer. In fact, it normally tips the scales to the positive. The companion stone for you that you can use for meditation is ocean jasper. So I hope you enjoyed that message. I hope you enjoyed this pick a card. If you did, please leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed it and you'd like to see more readings like this. Thank you so much. You have a great day. I'm getting moved on to those that pick pile option number 3. Okay, those of you that chose pile option number 3 with this beautiful blue agate. Isn't that beautiful? I think that might be my new favorite color. I don't know. I just love it. Okay, so first let's look at where you currently are, and what type of personality you're portraying. So we have Kamala, she who emerges. Enlightenment, mindfulness, rise up. Look at that beautiful red lotus she's holding in her hand. So this tells me you may be fixated on the lessons of your past, things you wish were different, and consuming thoughts of the future. Thoughts seem to swarm you regarding outcomes, possibilities, and what ifs. Instead of focusing on the now, the present, you are conflicted by anxiety and worry of getting your hopes up. So let's just kind of put this up here. We're going to look at what's going on with you. So from the Dark Night of the Soul Tarot, we have 3 of Decay, submerged. That kind of reminds me, the energy of like a glacier. You only see what's on the top. Most of the mass is underneath, submerged, that you don't see. And we have Justice, corruption. Siren of Sorrow, head case. Someone's stuck in their head. I get stuck in my head a lot. So 3 of Decay, submerged. Yeah, you hold your tensions and your fears hidden deep under the surface of your emotional and psychological waves. of your heart. You only allow shallow emotions and affections to surface. Like, this is all you allow people to see. But you're so much deeper than that. You keep yourself hidden. We have the justice for corruption. There are karmic, you need to know, wearing a false mask causes karmic consequences and retribution, because, that mask you flaunt, is not your true self. It's kind of like, okay, so when you're trying to manifest something and you're having problems doing it, lots of times it's because people live and speak and think in the programming of lack. For example, when you're praying, I was raised in a Christian household, so when you're praying, they always pray like, oh, please, please let me be able to pay this electric bill. Well, and then you're like, oh, God didn't answer my prayer. Well, first of all, you're sending up that manifestation incorrectly. The correct way to prayer and the correct way to put the aspirations is, thank you that my electric bill got paid. I know that everything happens for my good and my best, and I know that everything's going to work out. Usually it does. In my perspective, it works out. So, when you wear, and it's the same way when you wear a false mask, a persona to other people, and then you get upset because they perceive you that way. And you're like, well, that's not who I really am. So if that's not who you are, don't wear that mask. Siren of Sorrow head case. It's like you're burying your heartfelt emotions, and it causes you to be imbalanced, unpredictable, and aggressive. And eventually it causes mental health issues as well. You kind of get stuck in your head. I'm not this aggressive person people think I am. I just hear that in my head. But you have to understand that's the persona. You're not showing them your heart. It's buried up underneath that water. It's buried deep. All they just see this person who's, you may consider yourself a go-getter, and possibly other people view you as being aggressive. And your perspective is different. But also you have to keep in mind this mask that you wear for other people to see. Okay, so let's look and see how you can heal this. So first I'm going to start with one of these Soul Truth Self-Awareness cards. It says, am I clear on what my soul really wants? Or are you going back and forth? It says, take out the shoulds and the limitations. Get out of your head and pay attention to your heart's desires instead. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Today's soul action, ask yourself, what is it that your soul really wants? What does your heart crave? Then take one step in that direction. We have the 39, creativity, and the number 63 for wind. So, with creativity, this advises you to learn to funnel your pent-up rage, your pent-up passions, your hidden desires for understanding and love through creative outlets such as writing, music, or art. You must access your emotions and allow yourself to feel. Whether you dance or doodle, allow yourself to creatively learn to express yourself. With the wind, be inspired to communicate through song, words, or even action. You'll have courage to face changes and challenges by moving toward them and embracing the lessons. Don't keep hiding. The goddess that you should be embodying, we have the number 22, Iris, communication. That's so beautiful. I love that card. Pink is one of my favorite colors. With Iris, is telling me there may have been some misunderstandings, maybe even some disconnections due to miscommunication. It's time to be straightforward and use your voice to express your authentic truth and desires. Allow yourself to be heard. Don't be afraid to be disappointed. It's your turn to be heard. Stop putting others first. Then we have 8 of emotions. I failed to show y'all that I do have the Muse Tarot added in these readings. Page of emotions. And 2 of materials. I don't know why I said almost 12. So 8 of emotions. Learn to let go. Don't hold on to things that don't serve you anymore. Make space for your own true happiness. It's time to cut the cords and shed the false mask of happiness and contentment, where you've allowed yourself to be placed on the back burner so others can shine. Stop putting other people first. How many times have you said yes when you wanted to say no? How many times did you stay when you wanted to go? As you let go and cleanse, then you get the page of emotions. You will make space for new possibilities of unexpected magic, joy, playfulness, and heart-driven creativity. Living a magical life is a choice. With the 2 of materials, so many blessings will rain on you to the point of having to multitask to stay balanced. Allowing yourself to be flexible, let go of the old and make room for the new will enable abundance to bloom for years. It's like pruning a rose bush. I really believe those that what I'm getting is those that picked this pile, your calling is to help lead others. To be able to, I just see like someone being on a stage, public speaking, maybe motivational, and to be able to be motivational and to be able to, maybe run a resort or do those empowerment messages. You have to first empower yourself. Okay. We have the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. And that just clarifies. For some reason, I keep seeing like a health resort somewhere where you can help other people blossom. The thing about the ever unfolding rose, the message for you in this is that the challenge is to keep your heart open when you want to close it. Allow the lessons to crack you open through hurt and pain, so you can embrace the triumphs and adventures. Life is happening for you. It's not to you. And then your last card, we have the number 30, Snow Moon Purity. And I'm going to read that message to you from the book. It says, Snow Moon Purity. Look for the simplest and cleanest solution. Understand your motives for doing what you're doing. Be as clear as possible in your communication. Your main interest here, pile number 3, is communication. That's what you really need to learn. Keeps on repeating itself. The mantra you can tell yourself is, I know why I do what I do. It says the word purity now seems to have a kind of loaded moral quality. Anytime I mention the word, people mostly think about how it's used in religions or in morals. For example, the purity of virgins, the purity of no sex before marriage, the purity of celibacy, the purity of bloodline of certain extreme right wing groups. It says no wonder we use the word with some trepidation. The purity I refer to here is the purity of the silver moon on the unmarked snow, the simple purity of intention and that nature demonstrates, the purity of clean water in a mountain stream, the purity of one single purpose. The Cambridge Dictionary defines this kind of purity as being clean or free from harmful substances. And I guess in our world so full of pollution and damage to the environment, that may well be hard to find. However, the ancients looked at the cycles that brought ice and snow as a sort of reset button, a time when everything lay fallow for a while and brought with it a kind of simplicity. These times were hard, but if we were prepared for them, we would survive. There are good reasons to strive for a kind of positive purity in our lives. Being precise with our language and as clear as we can be in our communications means fewer miscommunications and misunderstandings in our relationships and work life. Keeping our intentions pure and untainted with lower energies such as jealousy, revenge, or unworthiness as much as possible means that our motivations are pure and not muddy in their reasoning. A companion stone or metal that you could use for meditation is clear quartz. So I hope you enjoyed this message. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more messages like this, more pick-a cards like this, make sure you leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed it. And also leave your feedback. Thank you so much. You have a great day. Bye-bye.